until like 9 o'clock.
Yes,
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't really grabbed anything.
I got spaghetti.
Okay.
Alright, we should be good.
All right, awesome. So again, nothing really much happened different because we didn't have a session last week. I apologize again. Yeah, life happened. Anyway, take it away with the recap, Freddie.
Hi again. Hold on. Gotta find my notes. All right. Wow, guys, what happened? I'll tell you. We started getting a little bit funky last session. The session started with Wilkia getting kind of a similar kind of off or empty feeling about Snowball that a lot of other people had been getting. Those empty houses, the weird memory thing that nobody can seem to explain. We asked Tarthano about it, and he said that's just how it is. They've always been empty. Why are you chill, all good? Which I don't believe, but that's okay. The party threw out some theories, like a mass modified memory, maybe, some sort of time being rewritten, some sort of freaky alternate universe thing. We wondered maybe did the cult do this? Can the Titans have this sort of ability to shift time in some way? Before we can kind of continue with that line of thought, the worms in my brain say that they're starving. We hear a commotion outside, and then there's somebody else saying starving on the outside. That's not my brain work. It's Zombie Bodrad. I don't know who that is, but that sucks for him. And I assume that he's a beloved figure. So sorry, guys. It's Zora's dad. That's the lady that we've been looking for. And now it's fight time. I have in all caps, did the parasites revive Bodrad? Which I feel some thoughts about that. It's kind of a sad ass kicking because we just kind of corner him into one spot and then wail on him for like 2 minutes straight. And then he is no longer a zombie anymore. And then we find a new friend. Core materializes out of the woods to be like, hey guys, what's up? Apparently he knows Yuri somehow. Yuri's not picking up on that because he's extremely perceptive, as we all know. The voice, that starving message, comes again from the corpse, which is not good. I have a note that just says Willow equals certified freak, 3 question mark. You know, that could be about many things. Love you, all good. Then I have a note that says, Mom, they're licking the heart again, because everybody wanted to put it in their mouth. Zora also mentions that all of these houses have always been empty, which is a little sus. But there may be records to give us some sort of clue into if that is true or not. She agrees that we will be allowed to look into the records to try and prove this theory. And that was pretty much where we wrapped up.
Let's not forget the kill steal moment, and I'm still very salty about that.
Yeah, no, real, you're so right.
Walter almost got it. And then Kara's like, nope.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
The last, like, couple damage. Did you see what I did?
So yeah, just to clarify, I posted it in the chat, but Bodrad was actually Zora's husband. It's all right. I wouldn't expect Isaac to know any of this, so it's okay. Anyway, so at the end of it, Zora did agree to take one of you to go review the ledgers with her, but only one. And she also said if she catches or gets any whiff of anyone sneaking around trying to, take a peek, then it's called off. And she chose Isaac to go with her because
I have a driver's license and I own a home.
I mean I'm gonna be honest, Zora's a pretty beefy woman. And it doesn't look like Isaac could really take her. She's a soldier at heart, so she kind of like picked her poison, if you will. And she knows everyone else except for obviously Core and Yuri and Blue Jay. But yes, so oh no, don't do this to me. So it takes a little bit, but you and Zora managed to get to the council hall. I'm gonna put everyone on the map just because.
DM.
Yes.
As they're going in, I'm going to cast Arcane Eye and follow through.
Oh, you sneaky bastard.
Let me put it out for you.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll be tagging along. Just gonna be sitting on Gorm's shoulders, just tagging along, mentally.
Okay. Okay. So as Isaac and Zora get to the council hall, you see Zora sort of like tap one of the guys on the shoulder that's guarding the door and kind of whisper something, and you both enter. And as she makes her way to her office, going through the council, you see people going about their business, random people going into different offices, and just everyday work life in a council hall. And as soon as she gets to her office, you hear a small child, and she says, Mama, is everything all right? And Zora says, yes, Cece, it's everything's all right. I might have to refresh my page. Yeah, I gotta refresh it because Roll20 is shitting out on me. Yay. Love this. You gonna fucking load for me? Thank you. There we go. Yeah, you see this kind of a half orc, half tiefling looking little girl, which you can assume just by the interaction that that's her daughter, and the man that was just killed was her father. How is Isaac reacting to all of this? Like, this is all new to him, and like this whole everything going on is kind of like abrupt and out of nowhere.
I think definitely like he's probably been in a government building before, so he's trying to he's like, okay, yeah, no, I know where I am. It's serious. It's all good. I think he's still partially kind of like I don't think the voice has left him really. I think he's still thinking about it. And I think when he walks into the Zora's office, he's like physically very surprised by the kid there. Like he gets taken aback and just has like a full moment for a second where he's like, oh, whoa, a kid, immediately followed by, oh, that was your dad, sorry.
And
It's
actually, as you enter the office, you see like pictures on the wall of the three of them, and you see like game trophies all over. Like you see the moose head, and you see like a little like stuffed pheasant, and just a lot of memorabilia that you wouldn't think that Zora would keep. And you can kind of surmise that this wasn't really her office. She kind of took it over.
They like look around at all of the dead things on the walls, and then I kind of have to I think he kind of has to force himself to really look at Zora's daughter, because it's like I think immediately he can recognize her dad's face and like his features on her, and then he can immediately see in his mind like what those features look like when they were being melted off a body.
Oh boy. And
Yeah.
actually Celine or Cece, she does look a little like uh nervous, but once she kind of like realizes that everything's okay now, she looks around her mother and she sees you and she says, Mama, who is that? And she says, it's just a friend. Don't worry. Got some business to attend to. And Cece kind of like squirms around her mother, and she kind of like runs up and she says, "Ah, I'm Cece."
Hello, Cece. I'm Isaac. I do magic. I don't think.
I'm 10.
Equally exciting, I would say.
Are you Mama's friend?
Yes, of sorts. I'm helping her out with a little problem in town. Just making sure everything's right.
Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Cece just kind of like looks you up and down, and she kind of like like a little smirk, and she's like, she goes over to her mother and she kind of like whispers something to her. She kind of like pulls on her dress a little bit and she kind of whispers something in her ear. And Zora looks over at you and shakes her head. And then she tells Cece to go play. She goes back in the corner, she starts playing with her toys. And Zora turns around from the bookshelf and she says, "All right, I got it. It's right here." And is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Let me as a person review that. We want to know if, mainly if all of those houses have actually always been empty, right? Because that was what the record was. It was like the town record of like people
Yeah.
living there.
Yeah, or if there is records of people paying taxes for those.
Yes, right. Yeah. Just see, I don't know how the records are structured, but if there's like a yearly tax revenue or like
Mhm.
a like if people have to file for when they live in a house or something, or like if there's a record of population and people that live in the different houses.
And as she kind of like thumbs through the ledger, she's like looking and like you're giving her the. I'm obviously like assuming that you give her the location of the houses, and she's like looking for those locations in the ledger, and yeah, and actually, the Arcane Eye and Zora notice that for a short time, like there was somebody there, but this was like 10 plus years ago, and since then there's no record. It gets just blank.
Hmm. Do I see like I don't know on her face like actual visible confusion or anything?
Roll insight.
Oh, delightful, guys! I'm gonna be really good at this one.
I'll say do it with advantage because you are kind of like watching her reactions.
First roll, second roll. I'm really good with people.
You don't notice anything, but you hear from the corner, you hear Cece go, "Mama, is everything all right?" And she says, "Yeah, just something doesn't add up here, or it does, and I'm just misreading this."
Can I just say to her, I know you didn't want anyone but yourself looking at the ledgers, but would it be possible for me to just take a glance at that page specifically, just to check if it's been tampered with somehow?
She looks at you, and she looks you up and down once more, and she kind of like hesitates for a moment, and then she hands over the book. And as you're looking through it, you see the same thing, except you see something a little different. You see recent records, as in like a few weeks ago.
Well said. Do I get the sense that like I don't know, like did it seem that Zora like saw these pages or like read and recognized these pages, or was it more like she only saw the 10 years ago stuff and then just like
No, it looked like she was really like reading through, trying to find any discrepancies.
hmm. So it was 10-year. There's a 10-year gap between the last time somebody lived there.
Well, to her, there's a 10-year gap. But
Mm.
you've seen stuff going as far as like a few weeks ago, and then it just stops.
And currently, it doesn't say that anyone lives there.
It says that nobody lives there,
Mhm.
or at least like there's been no payments in the past few weeks.
Hmm. Okay, so someone had to be there. Someone wanted to be there for a couple weeks and then leave and have no trace that they were there.
Are you showing Zora any of this, or are you keeping it to yourself?
I feel like I don't know Zora, nor do I have a history with her as maybe some of the other party do. So I'm gonna keep it to myself.
I'm gonna have her roll insight real quick. As she's kind of like watching your face, no, Willow actually sees what Zora saw.
Oh god, I don't know how to type. Oops.
Yep.
Oh. That's very interesting. Okay. Hmm.
Oh, I get it.
So
Can
now
I
I can.
Can I cut to everyone else real quick while you kind of like stew on that? All right. So I'm going to bring everyone on a map. It's going to look kind of familiar. Um, and that's intentional. But as you guys are sort of like walking through the town, you know, Willow on Gorm's shoulder and everyone's kind of like walking, Yuri actually kind of like says to Gorm, I think I'm gonna go hang out with Tarthano for a little bit if that's all right with you. I don't really feel right prancing around this town in the state I'm in.
Farm your me talking.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yuri essentially just said that he's gonna go to Tarthano's workshop because he doesn't feel comfortable prancing around in the state that he's in.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I agree. Should I be on the other map?
No, I'm
Oh, okay.
gonna bring everyone to this map. Give me a second. All right. So as you guys are sort of like walking through the town, you come back to an area that was familiar from when some of you actually first came here a couple months ago. Um, and you see that some of the houses that were once lived in are now completely empty, as some of you have noticed, and the ones that have the X's on it are the empty ones.
As we're far away from the guards, I'm just retelling exactly what was being seen. So we should have a better idea of the current situation in the municipal
Mm-hmm.
records.
Yep, but we would only just try not to metagame. We would just know what she knew, just the 10 years ago stuff, right?
Yeah, just the 10 years ago stuff. No, not the ones that from
Current, yes,
a few days ago. Or a few weeks ago, sorry.
yes.
So been relaying that information to everyone.
That seems weird. Like, we knew people were in these houses.
Very.
We saved some of them personally.
Yeah.
For them to just disappear is very odd. We're missing something. I just know it. It's just very good at hiding.
Maybe the professor caught something.
Possibly. He's not notified of us of anything right now. I mean, as if these are considered abandoned, it's not considered breaking and entering, right? Maybe the homes themselves will give us a lot more information as
That
to what
is-
exactly happened.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Check them out.
Wonderful. Now, who's very good at breaking and entering?
I mean, I'm good at
I-
kicking doors.
I can try.
I probably should not go in because I will leave a very, very visible trail. The mud, it'll just be mud on the ground everywhere I go.
I mean, it might not matter. Just I walk up to the first one and just try the handle first.
Can I just have you move your token up there? As you jiggle the handle, you hear like a. It's locked.
So, do you want me to smash it, or are there other ideas we want to try first?
We can go get a lockpick set, try and open it.
Does anybody have any lockpicking?
Yeah,
Not
anybody
again. Don't think so.
not proficient with them. Although I was training. Oh, we can go get Renross.
Are there any windows nearby?
Yeah.
Hey, Blue Jay, what's your passive perception?
If you're speaking, we can't hear you.
What's your passive perception, Blue Jay?
Make sure you're not hard muted on your mic.
Hello?
There we
Oh,
go.
I got it backwards. Okay, sorry. 19.
That's your passive.
It's
Oh,
my passive
hold on.
perspective. Sorry, perception. Holy crap.
That
Yep.
it is. I see it. Yep. Okay, cool. So you actually, while everyone's kind of like figuring out how to open the door and conversing amongst themselves, you actually hear some footsteps approaching, but they're like whirring and mechanical in a sense. They're not fast approaching, but they do seem like they're casually walking towards you guys.
I'm gonna tell everyone about what I hear and kind of just like go like hide in the shadow.
Where exactly would you be hiding? And actually, as you run, over there, you actually. Oh no! Don't do this to me.
Walk right into it.
Yeah, I gotta reload my freaking roll 20. You actually do walk into it. What the fuck? Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Apparently, so saying something about out of memory.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's your RAM.
yeah.
How many
Alright.
tabs do you have open?
Not. I'm gonna actually figure some of them out and then try it again. Please load for me. Okay, apparently that works. Closed out the non-essential ones. So let's try this again. As you're going into the shadow area, you actually bump and you bump straight into this like this metal figure. You stunk as you fall to the ground, and before you, I don't remember if you were. I would assume you were in Tarthano's workshop. It's his automaton, Archie, and he says, "Apologies," and then he helps you stand back up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted again. I'm just gonna ask him, "Oh, hey Archie. Good to see you again. Where are you headed so late at night?"
I mean, I think it's little after midday, so it's not like late at night.
Where are you headed on this amazing day?
He kind of like takes your words in, and you see like the lights in his eyes start to like flicker a little bit as he's like processing what you're saying, and he says, "Master Tarthano told me to come assist in this quote unquote mystery."
Oh, well, that's super awesome. Do you wanna go say hi to Lilkia and Valorant and Willow and they can fill you in?
And he tries to like walk past you, but he's like not able to until you move out of the way, and he kind of like just walks.
The awkward dance.
Yeah. Except for his looks just way more awkward for some reason because he's a robot. It's like real life lag. Is Willow still using the arcane eye, or
I have it for an hour, so
Okay.
yes.
let me cut back to Isaac real quick, if my computer will let me. And then we'll cut right back to you guys. So yeah. Ooh, excuse me. How is Isaac reacting to all of this strange information, this contradicting information?
It is interesting. I was hoping to potentially keep it slightly hidden from Zora, but I getting together that may not be a possibility. I would like to see my running things. Did the brain worms? Did the brain worms write this? And like it's like invisible ink, but for people with brain worms. I don't know. I would love to if I had 10 minutes in the office and she doesn't stop me, I would love to try to ritually cast detect magic just over those pages that are not adding up.
I would say that you just out of nowhere, just ritually casting anything would kind of like tip her off a little bit.
Oh, that's that's okay. I'll just say to her, I'm seeing something here that's just not quite together for me. I was just wondering if I could give it just a quick arcane checksy, if you're cool with that. I won't damage it in any way. I won't change it. I just want to, make sure everything's on the up and up here.
I'm gonna have you roll persuasion real quick.
Guys, don't even worry. Charisma's totally not my dump stat. Be really good at persuasion. Let's go. Big money. Okay. Well,
Oh,
guys, I'm really good at talking.
You do have inspiration though if you would like to use it.
For sure. For sure.
Just remember to mark it off.
Yeah, real. Okay, no inspiration. Let's go. Big money. Feel persuaded, Zora. I'm a kind little boy.
She looks you up and down once again, as she's been doing this whole time. She looks over at Cece, who's kind of like in her own little world, playing with her toys and having a little pretend scenarios with their toys. She looks back at you and she's kind of like, yeah, all right.
I was gonna say, I have a good credit score and I know what Riz means.
I'm sorry, did you curse at me?
It's Elvish from the other continent. It's fine. Not a lot of people know it. It's all good. I appreciate you. I appreciate your openness. We will get this solved for you. I promise you that.
Yeah, get what solved?
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'll just turn and face the book to her. That mean anything to you?
The empty little bits there?
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right. Cool.
Look, I don't know what you're playing at, but I'm gonna trust you this one time. Once you ruin that trust,
I wouldn't dream of it, Madam Mayor. It's just a quick rudimentary check, and then I will confer with my colleagues.
all right. Me and Cece are gonna step out for a second. Give you a little bit of space. But we'll be
Appreciate it.
close by.
Of course.
Now she closes the door. You have free reign to and do what you need to do.
Real. That's what I was just gonna say. I'm gonna loot every now.
steal.
You could certainly try.
I'm a good little boy. I don't do stealing. Okay, it's a lot of stealing from the chat. Okay, well.
And alcohol for Valorant. Correct.
Really quick, Isaac, roll perception for me or investigation.
All of us?
No, Isaac.
Okay.
Okay. Come on, guys. Let's go. Good roll.
Damn. Sorry.
It's okay. He's looking around, and then the song is like, they're like, I'm spinning like a ballerina. It's just going over and over in his head. It's just got a second head.
All right. So while that 10 minutes is going, Let's cut back to everyone else.
You,
Oops.
you do feel a ping of something in the room with you. Of
Yes.
divination, of the school of divination.
Dang it, Willow.
I didn't tell Professor that I was doing it, so I kind of just did it.
Yep. So we're gonna cut back here. Anyone want to fill Cass in as to what's going on right now?
Hello.
Hello.
So,
Anyone?
essentially, we're breaking into empty houses.
Okay, perfect.
Archie caught up with us.
He was essentially told that he needed to help with this whole mystery solving thing.
I wanted to walk around the side of the house and look for a window I can see in.
You do find some windows, obviously. They don't have any curtains up. Well, the majority of them, the curtains are open.
All I have
And
to
as
do
you
is see
okay,
and put my echo inside
I don't have a map for it, but
and just pop in.
inside of the house, you see that it used to be lived in. Obviously, like you've already come to that conclusion that these places used to be lived in. You don't remember who lived here, as like there's no picture, like there's empty picture frames, so you don't know who lived here. You do see that there's like remnants of like spoiled food on the table. There's like dust everywhere.
Did they leave behind like clothes and silverware and furniture and everything? Or is it more abandoned slash very little?
There's clothes, there's furniture, but nothing that really sparks anything from you.
Open the front door so everyone else can get in.
Oh man, I wanted to break it.
So we go inside. Yes.
Over the earpiece, be like, I opened the door, you guys can come now.
I just have to ask. I know that Willow's using the arcane eye. They're not able to see, correct?
It's invisible, but it's a
No.
magical presence.
Willow's not able to see like what they're doing.
Yes, I can.
Okay, I got in like. So you kind of have like a double vision sort of situation.
You mentally receive visual information from the eye.
So you're not blind.
Not blind. Nothing
Okay.
in here says I'm blinded.
Okay, cool. That helps out a little bit. While you're making your way to that house, you do see out of the corner of your eye like a glint of something coming
Who
from
sees it?
Willow,
Oh, okay.
like coming from this area over here,
Okay. A glint of something?
like something. The light just hits it just right, and you sort of like see a glint of something.
Okay.
And as you approach it, you actually see like an ornate sword.
Okay.
Are you doing anything with the sword, or are you just leaving it be?
No, I'm gonna use my mage hand to pick it up
Don't
and
be a
move
min-
it. Move it to the part. Like, so we look at the sword. What does it look like?
It just looks like an ornate sword.
Does it look used?
It looks like it's been used in some combat scenarios, but other than that,
What about the area that it was found in?
nothing of significance.
The ground that it came on. Does it look like it's been dropped from a significant height? Was it just thrown to the side? Any markings on the walls that would say something like that? Or was it kind of just
It kind of looks like
hidden
it kind of looks like it was dropped.
from height as tall as this building, dropped from like waist height of regular human-ish size?
Regular humanish size. as if somebody dropped it.
Okay. Oh, was that me? All right. Oh. Then I'll bring it to the party's attention. So I found this interesting sword. Not touching it because I'm not going to put my essence in that. I'd love to try and take a look at it further, but I'm a little busy. Receiving information about something important, as I said earlier.
Did Willow relay the information that they saw through the arcane eye?
Oh yeah, as I said, like as
Okay.
we were walking through, I've been relaying the information to the
I just
team.
wanted to make sure that everyone had like an opportunity to react to that information, like Lokia, who wasn't here for that little bit of information. So basically, Lokia, as Zora was sort of like palming through the ledger, about 10 years ago, there was like notes or like there was information, whatever, about people living in the houses that are now empty. And then it goes blank after that.
I see.
As if like no one's lived in those houses since.
Hmm.
And I can't really tell you what Isaac saw because
Yeah.
yeah.
Willow probably said that Isaac tried to show that there was something in those blank pages, but nothing that they could see.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Because it's 360 vision. I'm hovering it around, to get to the important bits of information. So then if Isaac were to say, "Oh, look, can you see this?" then I move the eye to look at it and see.
I'm just imagining that whole scenario.
Got it.
How is Lokia feeling right now?
Mm, I think I'm more so just confused and concerned. I'm gonna go ahead and use divine sense to see if I sense the presence of any strong evil within the 60-foot radius. Before I do that, I'm just gonna move up here so I get both these houses and the sword in that.
3-6
that
Mafia.
area.
Is this like a ritual type of thing, or is it like an instant type of thing?
I think it's an instant type of thing.
Okay.
It's just one of my paladin features.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I get the best possible answer for you.
One action.
Thank you.
Celestial fiend or undead. Yeah, you don't sense anything.
Mm. I think I find Lilkia feels more discomforted by that than anything. Yeah.
How is Core reacting to all of this? Because these are new people to him. His the person that he knows kind of stepped away for a little bit. These people are breaking into empty houses for some reason.
Yeah, so Yuri is no longer with us.
No, he's at Tarthana's workshop currently.
So he would be kind of just observing, trying to just take in the environment. Suppose he'd be looking around for maybe some tracks, other than our tracks. I mean, does this area look, are the houses all abandoned, I guess, looking, or it's not like a civilized area we're in?
It is like the only ones that are really like quote unquote abandoned
okay, so
are the ones that have the X's on them.
gotcha. So
this
I
is a
mean,
well trafficked area.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's see. Can I do I'm gonna do like an investigation, because I'm gonna be looking for these cultists. Let's that work. It did not work on Roll20. Did it? Oh, it did. Oh, I don't see anything. I get advantage for, I forgot what I get advantage for on investigation. It's only for a certain thing, I remember.
I let me just double check.
It was for the race. I remember that. What's the advantage for the race?
I should tell you. Features and traits. Let's see. Racial.
Never mind, that's intelligence check for advantage. So I guess I just have advantage normally on investigation. That would make sense. I'm a ranger. Do you want me to roll it again or no?
Yeah, go ahead. If it says you have advantage, then
No, it says I have. I'm just trying to remember why I had
Oh,
advantage.
for your
But-
alien engineering.
for investigation.
Yeah, if you click on the actual
Oh
A.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah,
There
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's one roll. 7 it is.
Okay. I should have known that. I fucking created it. So...
Good.
Oh boy. So I forgot what were you looking for exactly?
Just kind of I'm trying to find some kind of sign of the cultists, really.
So as you search the ground, search the buildings, search for any sort of clue to kind of like help you progress in this mission that you have. This place is just so foreign and weird to you that you're not able to kind of like get the necessary clues that you need.
Well, I guess I would stay with the group then. Ask. So Voltaire is inside the house or outside the house?
I'm inside,
Inside.
and I open the door,
And Willow has this weird sword.
and I
I
did.
think Voltaire said he was gonna cast detect magic on it.
I was just saying that
On the inside of the house or the sword itself?
the inside of the house and sword if it came in.
Okay, so let me cut
Like,
back. Go ahead,
Yep.
go ahead.
No. It's okay. I was just gonna walk up to the house.
Okay. Let me cut back to Isaac real quick. What you sense with the detect magic in this area is essentially just what Kyle said, that arcane orb that's sort of like floating, or divination magic that's kind of like floating somewhere around you. Nothing else seems to be pretty off about this place. Just that one specific detail. You could react to that however you would react to that.
I think he's a little bit frustrated because that definitely would have been the easiest answer. Technically, I guess I don't know the eyes from Willow either, so I think immediately kind of like, oh, on the defensive slightly.
Noticing that shifted pattern, the eyeball is going to move in the shape of a W. Like we'll leave a trace that would do like WLO.
You're writing with a sparkler.
Yeah, kind of. Right. It'll quickly like jot that down in common so that at least the trace would leave some form of, you can see a path in your head. I'm like, oh, that kind of looks like a W, L, and an O. It's just WLO. Maybe figure it out. I don't know.
I'll see it and I'll go. Yes, that makes sense. If I can see the eye now,
You can't. It's just a pulse. You just know that there's divination magic somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I got you.
And you're getting like the pulse in the shape of the letters as it moves.
Okay. Well, okay. Just like out into the room quietly, I guess. I'll just be like, okay, I don't know where you are or what's happening, and I really hope that you can hear me. I don't know if you can. And I'll hold up the book and like point and be like, this says things for me. I don't know if it says things for you, but no magic here. Just I don't really know, I'll be honest. More fuckery apparently, which is great. Blanking on that in the moment. He's too caught up. He doesn't remember. He's too caught up. And then he'll do like a lot of like too much hand signs, like so no magic. Copy, no magic. It is something else.
One of them was
Something
like ASL slur and like another one.
Just okay. We'll move the little divination orb thing just up and down.
Okay. Okay. Good. Yes. So it's not magic. I have a feeling potentially it has something to do with I don't know, maybe the network or something. I'm not totally sure. Basically, it says that people did live there a few weeks ago, but they don't anymore. They left for some reason. I'm gonna try one more thing, and this is a long shot, and I don't think it'll work, but I just want to try.
I have to ask you one thing real quick.
Oh yes.
Are you saying all of this at normal speaking volume, or are you whispering, or
Let's go with a crisp stage whisper. And like, yeah. And then basically this happened. So it's like kind of whispering, but you don't need to hear me. It's okay.
well, she does.
You know, maybe I talk to myself. You don't know.
And she kind of like opens the door a little bit. Are you okay in here? Who are you talking to? Is anyone in here? She kind of like pulls out the sword in her sheath. Sort of like looks around.
I'm gonna really quickly snap my familiar into being behind the desk and have her walk out in cat form, just like around the desk. I'll just pick her up and be like, terribly sorry. She just follows me everywhere, you know.
All right. She closes the door.
Listen, it's baby's first foray into espionage. I would like to try one more thing while she is giving me the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
I know it's a long shot, but I would like to carefully pull out one of the Lodeogani from my bag.
Okay.
And like, I'll start with like waving it over it. I don't know what this is. I'm hoping for this to
Like a
achieve.
blue light
Like a blue light, maybe. Yeah, like a lighter with lemon juice
or
or
black
something.
light. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to ask, how are you handling this? How are you handling the crystal?
I will not touch it with my bare hands. I don't know what I have on me to like makeshift.
I would assume, you know, being of your stature, you would have like at least like a sneeze cloth or something.
Perfect. Yes. Embroidered handkerchief. They gave it to me when I got my master's. Just like wave it over it a little bit, and if that does nothing, I'll like just touch it a little bit. I don't know what I'm hoping for, but
As you do that, you see nothing.
son of a bitch, you really had me there. All right, I will pack up my things, and I mean, God knows she's not gonna let other people come in and look at it, so I will just bid her thanks. I'll just say I'm just going to, you know, confer with my colleagues about the problem. We'll put our heads together. Hopefully we can come up with a solution for you.
As long as you found what you need to find, that I guess I'm okay. Nothing looks too amiss in here, so you're all right in my book.
Right back at you. Good stuff.
Bless your soul.
Mark is on a roll.
Awesome.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I will wave goodbye to Cece and I will try and rejoin the party.
All right. And as you actually go through the front door of the council hall, I mean, let me reveal this because this would have been something. You see what you saw when you first entered, a pretty beefy minotaur and a gnoll right next to him, and they're sort of like guarding the door. And they look at you. They give you like the cordial nod.
Give him a nod back.
And after I want to say like 5 minutes, you make your way back to the group.
Just before, sorry, Dave.
Go ahead.
The Arcanine lasts for an hour.
Okay.
So once I see Professor Isaac leaving,
Mm-hmm.
I am just gonna go through the whole building and just getting a good layout, finding anything juicy. In terms of, I don't know, is there a secret that she's hiding? Just
Are you going throughout the whole building itself, or
Yes. So essentially scoping the ins and outs of this building. If I find anything interesting, I might stick around for a little bit more just to see.
So let me just reveal everything else, since I would assume they're going in every single office.
Yeah.
You see in this top right office a dwarven man kind of like consoling a very uppity goblin. Seemed to be having like a little bit of like a the argument, or the goblin's having like a one-sided argument, and the dwarf is kind of like just like calm down. And at the bottom right, you see a tiefling woman just sort of like writing down to something, and as you get closer you see like they're filling out like notes on the latest like committee meeting. To the left bottom you see a Leonin sort of like he looks like he's sleeping. Above that you see a Loxodon feller, sort of just sitting there waiting. You don't know what he's waiting for, but he just seems like he's waiting for something. And on the top left you see a gnomish man just looking through different books. Looks like he's just biding his time until his next meeting or something. Keeps looking over at the clock.
Okay.
Other than that, nothing seems too like strange. And in Zora's office, you see her kind of like looking at the ledger again, and she's looks confused. She's looking back at the 10-year spot, and looking back at those blank parts in the ledger, and she keeps slipping back and forth. She looks like very confused. She's trying to put all the pieces together, and in her mind, it's nothing seems to be clicking, and she looks kind of concerned.
Okay. I will just keep the eye in her area just
Okay.
in case she finds something else, just
Okay.
until the hour is up. And then, yeah, keep that in mind.
Okay, for the sake of brevity, during the hour, or during the remaining parts of the hour, she does continue to look through the book, take a couple notes, like, this part was empty, but this part seemed to have some sort of record. Like, she's taking notes, but nothing seems to be adding up, and just continues for the next like remaining parts of the hour. She doesn't really conclude to anything.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
I will say, if you were to look outside, you do see the knoll and the Minotaur, and they sort of like, you can see like the conversation, like they're having like a friendly joking banter with one another. Like they're like kind of like pushing each other, laughing at each other. Like they don't seem like they are good guards. They just seem like they're just there to have fun.
All right.
All right, going back to the rest of the group, I will click on the fucking sheet. There we go. I'm gonna put. Oops, didn't want to do that. Nope, didn't want to do that either. I'm going to put Isaac over here. And this is where Isaac comes in. He's kind of been searching around, and he hears some sort of familiar voices and commotion, and he rushes towards it, and you see that Willow's got a mage hand holding up a strange ornate sword.
Was it magical according to
It was
Valter's?
not. And there doesn't seem to be anything else magical in the house or anywhere surrounding. It just seems like an ordinary ornate sword that's seen some minor action. Oh boy, this is fun. My vision's starting to get a little blurry.
You
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You drinking tonight? Are you driving?
We're
Both.
both. Oh no.
Gotcha. Gotcha on film. Police arrest him. So
Go ahead.
go no go.
I was just gonna say that's why he only has his little picture up.
These hammers.
No, it's because I don't have a shirt on. It's too damn hot.
Fair. Oh, welcome back, Professor. Hope you enjoyed my little gift.
I did
Okay.
once I figured out it was you,
Of course. Who else would it be?
That's very true. Are you guys breaking and entering over here? Sorry,
It's
I
not
said that
breaking
loud.
and entering if there's no one there. It's an abandoned building that is just ripe for squatters. So
Fair enough.
we are temporarily squatting since nobody owns them because there's no record of any payments for the last 10 years.
It's technically criminal trespassing.
Yeah, we didn't
Okay.
break
Don't
anything.
ask me how I know that.
No, it's fine,
Gorm, how do you know that? You've done some criminal stuff before?
Listen, sometimes it gets cold and you see an abandoned building and, you
You're
take your
seeking shelter,
opportunity.
and it's a little too temperate, and I need to cool down. So we are we're not breaking anything. We're just opening and entering.
Fair enough. Yeah, you know what? I did have students in oh good. I think it was like a fourth year divination class. They wanted me to go do something with them called urban exploring. Wasn't really sure what that was about, but I was like, hey man, maybe catch a rain check on that. Seems like that. So you know what? They were cool.
Have you heard from them since?
Well, that's actually a good point. Maybe I should check into that.
You actually see as you kind of like explain that situation, Archie sort of like his eyes start to flicker a little bit, and he says, "Urban exploring, searching, searching,
Oh my God, Archie's
searching.
here. Hi, Archie.
No records found."
Just invent the internet.
Archie, I need you to play a song for me. It's called "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Archie, what song is this?
Just fucking Susie at him all night.
Well, let's go enter and seek shelter in a place that's opportune, that's empty. I don't know how to say that without being a criminal. Seeking shelter at the next available shelter, which is this one, which is open.
I have to update you all as well. I've learned from the book, which I don't think Zora could read, but there were pages in there that described someone living in these houses a few weeks back for a portion of time and then leaving. But apparently no one can read that record. I'm not really sure how it works.
That tracks. There seems to be food and stuff still left here from about that time.
That makes sense.
Oh, what about the trash? They've surely left something. Anything that would note that they received a summons or an order to quickly evacuate. It's a little odd that they would just up and go, take their most valuable possessions, and anything perishable is just perished.
Perhaps they didn't even take their valuables. Have we checked for, coin or jewelry or anything?
Didn't get that far yet.
Sure.
I was kind of beckoning people inside, but everybody wanted to stay outside.
I can't get any mud in there, or else it'll be super obvious about who went in. It'll be that's all the evidence they need.
If I do recall, this is where we first ran into the cult.
Kinda.
Where they were stealing crap from us.
Kinda.
I'm gonna walk over to where I see Core absolutely posted up, like Hitman 47 in the crowd. Just gonna kind of like sidle up beside you. I'm, 5'8" at best, probably less.
I mean, I'm like 5'10" at best.
It's okay. Listen, you're probably more
Sorry.
intimidating. It's okay. I'm thin and weak and pale because I don't go outside that much. I'm just gonna sidle up to Core. Probably also cross my arms to try and look like I'm really cool and surveying things.
And it's like looks.
Tries to flex non-invisible. Tries to flex non-invisible invisible mushroom
No, real. No, you're so
muscles.
right.
Oh my goodness.
I'm doing that thing where like you put your hands under your arms when you cross them to try and make your biceps look bigger, but I don't really have a lot of bicep to work with. I know we haven't really spoken tons, and super glad that you're here. I was wondering if I could ask you a question about Zelgrim technology.
Kind of looks at him and says, "Okay."
So while I was in Zora's office looking at the book, you know, it seemed like no one could read a specific set of pages, the ones that detailing the people that lived here a few weeks ago. But I could see them kind of clear as day, which was A, concerning, but B, kind of curious. I was wondering if perhaps, is there some sort of technology that allows you to encode or obscure language in some way? I have connected with whatever you believe lives inside of the Lodeoganite, and I did communicate with them briefly, and I wonder if perhaps it's made me privy somehow to be able to read this. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Looks at it. I mean, yes. Where did you find this?
The book or the looking into the crystal and talking to it?
Well, the book.
In Zora McCore's office, the new mayor. We killed her husband. You killed her husband, technically. Not holding that against you.
It's kind of shrugged. Yes, we do have an technology for encryption in a way. You know, I'm not too familiar with it. I know it's not my job to use it, but I know that we do have it.
Interesting. What was your, perhaps you've mentioned this already, but what was your role, your profession?
Think of it as more of a fixer.
Like plumbing? Like electrician fixing?
Doesn't know what an electrician is. Kind of looks confused with that word. Scratches like behind his ear. Well, you know, sometimes people need to be taken care of, and they hire me to do that.
Oh, so you're like a personal support worker, like a personal caretaker.
A social worker in a sense.
That's very rewarding, I hear. You know, you should be very proud of your career and you know the help and things
That
you do.
pays well. Pays well.
I'm very glad to hear it. Well, that's lovely. You know, this whole group, I respect them so much because they're all immensely talented and kind of scary. But it's nice to have just, you know, someone who's not like totally rooted in violence and like, killing, is super comfortable with that, you know? Like,
Just kind of
not just a
raises his
gun.
eyebrow. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, yes.
As he's looking around the crowds of people, would you say, out of character, are they mostly humanoids here? Like humans, orcs, mix? Are there any bugbears?
They're all humanoids,
No
except for the
bugbears.
one, except for the one that's approaching you. And you see like a blue light sort of envelop you, in a sense, as if
Envelop
it's like,
me.
yeah, and as if you would know this as scanning.
Okay.
It's scanning you, and you've been scanned before, so you know like what kind of what's going on here, but you don't know why it's going on here.
So an individual started walking up to me doing that.
Yeah, Archie. Well, you don't know Archie. You just know
Right.
like
Right.
he's a robot or an automaton.
Okay. So this is happening as I'm talking.
Yes.
Okay, so I would finish my sentence. Is this a typical, am I a typical, is this form appropriate?
I mean, I, the main thing is that you have clothing on. I think that's a big one. If you were gonna kind of go for fitting in. I
Okay.
assume you mean the fur and the ears and the giant claws and stuff.
Yes.
It's not, you're not abnormal. You're not like super common, but if people give you a hard time, you can just send them to me. I'm very good at debating people.
Noted. And with that, I would look at Archie. Can I do an insight check on him?
I don't think you
He's
would need
he's
to.
a robot.
You've seen plenty of robots from your home
Yeah.
planet. You know that you kind of like see them as sort of like a lesser creature.
Sure.
But
Well, I mean,
an
I guess
assistant of sorts.
can I check to see if they are from my planet?
You
Would I
can
know just by looking at them?
you would know just by looking at them. They're primitive in nature compared
Okay.
to what you've seen. Like you don't even feel like that scan was like
It
a
was a
thorough.
terrible scan.
It was a terrible scan compared to what you've seen before.
Yeah. Okay.
But he does actually mention scan complete. I see you contain biomarkers that are equivalent to E011. Is
That
this
is correct.
correct?
That is correct. Who
Excellent.
is this? I kind of look at the professor next to me.
This is Archie. This is Tarthano's personal construct. Very sweet young man, and a very dignified professor. He's technically my boss, like way
How
up the ladder.
how old is this technology? He's kind of like looking at it like it's super, pre Windows 98.
Okay,
Will
it's kind
use
of like,
this?
I mean,
Processing.
that's kind of the shit right now, but whatever.
I was created 3 years ago and modified as of, and he says, give me 1 second. I gotta pull up the calendar real quick. Let me gotta log in for some reason. Give me a second. Updated as of Tillian Verdant 3567 AOR.
That doesn't really mean much to him.
No, it doesn't.
He just kind of is like, okay, can you?
But to everyone else, it means he was updated. His firmware was updated about 3 days ago.
Do you know anything of our network? He just kind of looks at him and says it. I'm just kind of winging it, saying it out loud.
Processing. No records found.
Perfect. And takes his attention away from Archie and goes back to just looking at the whatever. Can I roll for something to see if I notice see anybody that would, I guess, match any kind of information that I have to look for signs of the cult?
Sure, you can roll.
So I would do the favorite enemy check on this. This is the I link favorite enemy. Let's see. There's that, and I have advantage on there.
So just to clarify, what exactly are you looking for?
So I would
As
be
you're looking
looking
around.
through the crowd to see if anybody matches any kind of description that I would have. Looking maybe markings on people, maybe certain attire, more of like aesthetics.
So as you turn your attention away from Archie and Isaac, very obviously, and you sort of like gaze into the crowd of people, of the pedestrians walking around, you don't notice anything strange or that tips you off of anything. Everything looks like a foreign town you just waltzed into, of just random people going about their daily lives.
Okay. So I is no one's in the house. Is Willow still in the no one's in the house currently?
No, I think Voltaire might still be.
I was, but I didn't know how long the conversation was, so I was making my way to the other houses.
Oh, okay. Well, you do notice in the other houses, as you go and look through the windows and whatnot, that they're all in this pretty much same situation as the first house. Like it looks like there was people there, a few weeks ago, but they're not there now, and there's belongings left behind, empty picture frames, moldy food, spoiled food, tons of dust from weeks of neglect and care.
I would look at Archie and say, "Can you do a biometric scan on this house to determine who resided in here?"
Certainly. Scanning. Scanning.
Insert coin. Not enough credits.
What exactly, like, are you trying to like figure out when the last time somebody was there, or if there's somebody in there now?
Well, he would assume that he could scan and find essentially almost any information about anybody that lived in this area, or if they left any kind of DNA, because he's from in the advanced civilization.
So he's gonna scan, and what he assumes you mean is there any life signs in the house currently? Because that's really the
That's
only
fair.
capability that he
Yep.
has.
Right.
And he does reply, 2 life signs detected.
I'm gonna go
Size, tiny. Classification.
He's kind of size a little bit, but thank you.
Sorry, DM, was there a confirmation if there were any sorts of scrolls or any sorts of missives or anything like that that would show or maybe pique interest in saying that, hey, we should leave now? There-
You do find pieces of parchment laying around, but as soon as you glance them, they're blank.
Call in Professor. Professor, it seems like we have blank pieces of paper here, and I feel like they're strewn about in a particular way. I doubt that these are just blank paper. Would you kindly take a look, please?
Yes, of course. Go in there and take a gander.
What is Core doing while this is happening?
He stepped aside for a sec.
Oh shit, okay. I just want to hear from everyone else what they're doing before I answer Isaac. Gorm, Voltaire, Lokia, Blue Jay, what are you guys doing?
I was inspecting the other houses. I figured that'd take time
Okay, you
while
got
they're
it,
doing
yeah.
that.
I'll go with Voltaire.
Okay. Loki and Blue Jay, how are you guys reacting to all of this? I will remind you that there is a sword that is in Willow's mage hand that doesn't seem to be magical. That just seems like it's been used a few times in battle.
I'm gonna go with Voltaire and just like kind of hang back and keep an eye on the surroundings, I guess.
Okay.
Um,
I will remind you though that there's a ton of pedestrians, citizens walking around, and they are sort of kind of like giving you the weird eye, like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
That's cool. That's cool. As long as guards aren't called.
Not yet. All right, Cass, what about you? Or Lokia?
I'm going to try and inspect the sword further. Just to see if I notice anything about it that's standing out or suggests that it's possibly cursed or
How
anything.
exactly are you investigating it? Like give me the motions, the technique, the handling.
Got it. So I think she'll look to Willow because he's holding it in the main, or they're holding it in the mage hand. Hey, is it cool if I take this, look around a little bit?
Yeah, of course. I just made sure that I didn't sully the contents with a physical manifestation, but go ahead. Don't know where it's been.
I'll try and find out. So she'll take the sword, risky, but I'm gonna do it with my hands. I'm gonna turn the handle over and run my finger along the flat side of the blade.
Really quick. Hold on. Roll an intelligence save for.
Oh gosh. Oh no. That look is dead.
No. Actually, as soon as you grasp this handle or this sword rather, you sort of get a strange flashback of like your friends, your party members swiping, or like you see like the sword swiping through the air and hitting at something, and you just can't put a face to the wielder, but you know that this sword belonged to somebody that you think you might have known.
Hmm.
And then you snap back into reality. I'm just gonna say it right now, no.
Oh
Is
gosh.
it Boronar? I'm kidding. Doesn't know it. Doesn't know.
No, she does not.
I'm gonna like shake my head. So fucking weird. And inspect it further to see if I can tell where I recognize it from, any indicating factor on the hilt of it, of where it may have originated from, where the wielder may have gotten it, or to see if I know anything about it at all.
Roll history.
All right. Ooh, history is not my strong suit.
Well done.
Hooray!
As you try to kind of like will yourself to remember this, your nose starts to bleed a little bit. But
Nice.
if Willow is watching you, they can kind of like surmise that you're sort of like getting a divination sort of vision into the past. They recognize this situation, this scenario, as like a rookie divination situation, and you see the face that you saw in the drawing that Umtash gave you, swiping the sword around, and it's just for a brief moment, as if like you saw the vision of this person, and then just it's gone. But you remember that face, that vivid face of this person.
I see this and I go, oh my goodness. And I go fly with like a little napkin or cloth or whatever and start rubbing the nose. Okay. And then snapping their fingers on the ears. Lil Kira, come back to me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Snap out of it. 1, 2, 3. Are you back?
Am I back?
You sure are.
Okay. I'm gonna blink a couple times. What was that?
You saw a vision. Well done.
This-
Here's a little. You got a little. Well, a lot of. Just yeah. Here.
And
here.
look, you do notice that your nose is kind of bleeding, and it's not normal for you. For some, like you don't normally have bloody noses like that, but it's happening, and it's kind of bad.
I'll continue holding the sword with one hand and start like dabbing at my nose
Before
with the
you do
other.
it, just take a look at your surrounding. Just make sure you are grounded. That you are indeed where you're supposed to be. Visions are not easy, especially for someone who's never had them before. You have how many fingers do you have? All 10?
I think so.
Yes, look
Roll-
down at your palms. Yes,
Roll
count them out.
investigation.
Me?
Yes, roll investigation.
Oh gosh. No, that was so close to being a 20.
You have all 10.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
What
all
would
right.
have happened if I failed that?
Nothing. I just wanted you to.
Okay, good. Final test. I'm just gonna gently slap you in the face just to make sure you're with us, okay? On the count of
I'm
3.
gonna try and catch Willow's hand as they do that.
1, 2, and you
Um,
see the right hand going right. 1, 2, 3, and then goes with the left.
roll a dex save, Lokia.
Oh,
You catch it just immediately.
yeah, not happening.
All right. Well, welcome back. Just making sure. Listen, I've built these steps that I've had to do this before, so I'm just making sure you're in the safe place.
And Isaac, as soon as you see that Willow goes to slap Lokia, you see Archie's eyes sort of like flicker like a reddish hue, like very very briefly before it goes back to blue, and it sort of looks like as if it didn't happen.
That's a good sign. I'll just go. It's just, fighting between friends, Archie. They're not trying to hurt each other, of course. We're just making sure that Loki is okay, right?
So, Professor Isaac, how's the papers that I've asked you to check? Did they say anything?
Yes, those papers are actually they're just little short stories about like the people that saved their town a few weeks ago. The people that revived a dying tree. And just the miracles that they brought forth. And it's like pretty much like a summary of what Huntsman did last time they were in town. But to everyone else, it just seems like blank pages.
Huh.
Everyone but or Blue Jay and Isaac.
I will relay that to the rest of the. Just look at Blue Jay. I'll look at Blue Jay for a long minute and not say anything.
I'm just gonna shrug very, very exasperatedly, like I don't know what's going on either.
Huh. Are you an alien, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, I don't think so. No.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Are you an alien?
The tables have turned. I thought maybe I could see it because I, spoke to the freaky crystal, but now I'm not so sure. Did you speak to the freaky crystal, Blue Jay?
No, never done that.
Hmm. Perhaps the mud has given you qualities unbeknownst to others.
I've been trying to say that the mud is there for everyone.
I'm kind of on your side now. Yeah, I'm kind of getting it. Hmm. I'll just throw that out to the rest of the party and be like, were you guys here like a couple weeks ago making a tree okay and fighting for people?
Yes, we were.
Huh. Okay.
It was about a month ago now, something like
No,
that.
I would say it's been about 3 weeks.
Huh. Well, okay. Whoever had to leave their home, they remember you quite well. This is, I assume, everything you folks did when you were here last. And for some reason, it is also encoded so that some of you cannot see it. Don't know why.
I wonder if they did that to keep other people from trying to find us based off of like what they were doing and what their next step would be.
Oh, it's interesting. Oh, perhaps, yes, that would make sense to
Could be something in the water too,
hmm.
because when we were here, you guys have not been here. Like only the people that have not been here. Wait, can Archie see it?
I don't know. Nobody's had him look at them.
Archie,
Yes.
can you see anything on these?
Scanning. No text detected.
Are there any foreign materials on this paper that wouldn't be part of the paper?
Are you asking Archie that?
Yes, I should have clarified that. Sorry.
He says once more, scanning. No foreign materials detected.
I was gonna say, you can't say that too loudly around Core. We're trying to save face here and look cool as like our planet.
Voltaire's starting to get that silver head to him.
When I see the book, they had Archie look at it.
So was that?
Did I see the book or the pages?
Yeah, you literally see exactly what Professor Isaac saw. A kind of like a summary of what a group of heroes had done weeks prior to kind of like help this town.
Wait, down at this house, because there's a lot of us just standing out here.
So I have a theory, Professor. I feel like these, if what we found here in this house is true, we expect the same for the other missing houses. Now, the only people who can fully read these are, my assumption is now Core, you, and I'm going to assume Voltaire can, those who have been either a native of Zolgra or those who have been attuned to the lifeblood of that planet, which is you, Professor.
No, I couldn't see anything on these papers.
Correct.
No?
Correct.
And then what about me also?
So the only people that can see what's written on there, just to clarify, is Isaac, Core, and Blue Jay. Those are the only three.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's only
I
the
see.
people that haven't been to the town.
Haven't been to the town.
That's
Oh,
why I was going down the path of something could be in the water, but Archie doesn't eat.
correct. Well, that goes one thing, and that's fine.
Well, if it is in the water, like I don't know, it could also like what if it was like a spell or something cast on the water, and Archie's metal, so while he was being made, he would have at some point gotten water on him, and then while he's been around town and everything like that too.
Well, if you remember, he did mention that he was created about 3 years ago.
But he received the update a couple days ago.
Yes, an update is different than creation.
Archie, how do you get your update?
Firmware modification.
From Tarthano?
Correct.
Does it affect your memory banks?
Negative.
You remember people living in this house?
Well, we've got some form of a lead. We've still got that stupid Aaron person who we've no idea who they were. The only possible thing I can think of is that they're the one behind all of this.
Lilkia nods. Where is that picture? I think this sword is his.
Should be in a bag somewhere. Produces it.
DM, is Aaron the person that I saw in my little vision thing?
Yes.
I'm gonna point to Aaron. That's what I saw in my vision. Him in the sword. The sword is his.
So it's his, but apparently he's not here yet, right? If I remember that correctly, I think when we asked Ronros and Umtash, they said that they don't know this person yet.
They mentioned that they don't know that person at all.
Yeah, there you go. But in the picture and the
They don't even
note,
remember, yeah,
they're
even
saying
writing
that
any of that.
correct.
Oh, look at Archie. Do I noticed the eyes glitch. Is this something that seems familiar?
To you, yes. You've seen this happen many times with technology inconsistencies, like firmware inconsistencies. Like you kind of like noticed or gathered that like he's trying to recall something that's happened in the past, but like he can't access that information to recall.
I kind of look at the group and I'm like, this robot it is so outdated. I honestly don't know why you guys have this thing, but I wouldn't. These things can, especially, can be wrong. Saying that to everybody.
I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna be like, well, maybe it's not his fault. I don't know this Tarthano very well, but what if he purposely erased it from his memory?
Archie would chime in to say, Tarthana would never jeopardize my memory banks for personal gain.
Would there
I
be
am
a,
his assistant.
would you have a backup copy?
Master Tarthana always keeps a backup.
Maybe we can check out the other house to see if we find anything different. Otherwise, we're crowding a little bit here, and I don't want it to draw any more attention to us.
Yeah, you do notice that people are starting to get a little curious, and they're kind of like peeking around the house, is kind of like watching you guys a little more intently now, as you've been kind of like standing around this area for a good amount of time.
Like, Gorman, I looked, but couldn't see anything. But it appears we're not the ones that need to look, because I think whatever's going on is affecting my memories also now.
I will say, Blue Jay, as you were kind of like investigating with Voltaire and Gorm, you noticed sort of like the same situation that Isaac and Cora saw. Like there was a lot of like the empty picture frames to you were of families of people that you assume lived there. You see drawings that like kids drawings, and like you see like remnants of people that used to live there that everyone else in your investigating party kind of like just either glossed over or just wasn't looking at.
I'm gonna kind of point it out as we're like going through the house to kind of draw attention to it. The houses as we're like investigating and draw attention to it as best as I can.
And again, as Blue Jays kind of like pointing these out to Gorm and Voltaire, you Gorm and Voltaire, you guys see these empty picture frames, these blank parchments, these like seemingly non-existent remnants of who used to live there.
If she pointed them out while we were out, I would have like picked them up and studied the pictures more and the random blank papers, the things that I thought would have something on them, to just basically pick them up and stare at them.
And you see nothing. What she sees as something, you see as nothing. Like as if like you want to remember, but like it's you don't. You don't remember any of this. You don't even see a semblance of like what who or anything. So how does Voltaire feel as like Blue Jay is sort of like pointing these things out, and he's not able to see what she sees?
Confused and frustrated, trying to wrap my head around why she can see something and I'm just staring at a empty picture frame. I know there's something there, but why does it get lost between there and my mind?
I'm gonna have you really quick roll a history check. As you're like trying to get some sort of like memory, some sort of like any sort of fragment of anything. You're just so frustrated that you can't remember, that nothing seems to pop up in your memory. You're so you're so fixated on the fact that you can't remember that you can't really remember.
I'll take one with me
Okay.
and be like, yeah, something's definitely affecting me. That apparently you have to look. I mean, there's nobody in these houses for weeks. I mean, I don't think they're gonna care if there's some mud in here.
Fair point. I was just worried about people being able to see that people had gone through. But if no one's gone into these houses and they kind of just avoid them, I don't think we have to worry.
I don't think the inspectors or anybody else that walks in here is actually gonna be able to see anything. So I think you guys have the best opportunity right now to see what we could see before you guys can't see it either.
Is it in a script that can be written down that you're familiar with? Is it in common?
It's all in common.
Why don't you just read it out to us and we'll note it down? But we should probably take as much as we can without being accused of stealing. So, if everybody doesn't remember anyone living here for the past 10 years, is it really considered stealing? Or is it just looting an abandoned place? I don't know. So I do think we should just get what we have, find a safer place to investigate all of this in a timely manner. Maybe see if there are other locations. I have a weird inkling if we trace our steps back, we might find the route. And speaking of route, I feel like, no, I'm just throwing it out there. I feel like the tree has something to do with it. Don't know why, just a hunch.
Take a lot of the random stuff back to Orthano and get Archie's backup set up too.
I did just want to point out with Willow's suspicion of the tree, I found some mud. I found some healing mud by the tree.
Healing mud by the tree.
Oh yeah,
Now
last
you're-
time we were there.
Now you're gonna tell me that if I don't know, rub it on my head, then I'm gonna magically fix this. No,
Well,
absolutely not. I do not believe it.
anyway, I'm just saying, since we've already found one thing that was special by the tree, perhaps we can find something else.
I'll agree with you on that. So it is a good opportunity to learn if that exact mud is actually healing. And if I find out it is not, oh, the hell I will release from this realm onto you, my dear Bumblebee. Blue Jay. Shit. Shit for one, sorry.
If you really, really want to see if the mud works, I can cut myself right here and apply some of it and show you.
Do you-
Lokia's still wiping blood from her nose. Yeah, no need.
No worries, look, I got you covered.
Are you putting the mud on her nose?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to her and I'm gonna roll my dice really fast. Give me a second.
I'm like
You-
actively wincing, like trying to
You-
not pull away.
You don't need to this time around. As soon as you like apply a little bit of the mud to her nose, the bleeding instantly stops.
Slap it on her head. Slap it on her head. See if that jogs her memory. Do it. Do it now.
Okay.
Try and
I'll
slap
just
me. I
smear
dare
it.
you.
Oh, I'll smear it on her hair, like trying to coat it a bunch, like how you do with like hair dye and stuff, and I'll just like slather it on her head.
Get it on her roots, yes,
Oh,
all the way in.
Gotta
Touch
make
my
sure it hits
horns and
every
you
part of that
die.
head.
And across her eyes. There's a crowd forming around and we're just like slathering her in mud.
Question, Jay. How much mud are you using?
I'm using the rest I have because I only grabbed
Oh,
like
God.
I only grabbed like I want to say like
A couple handfuls, maybe?
a few pounds of it. I just grabbed a few pounds and walked away. It should be enough to get it
Pounds
all
of
in her
mud
hair and
away.
everything.
So, as soon as Blue Jay's done with that, Lukia, you now have mud-covered hair, and that is it.
Do you remember everything now? Is it all
re-
coming together?
You remember that you got mud put in your hair.
I remembered that I need to beat the fucking shit out of you.
Oh,
I'm gonna kind of like scamper back and just like hide behind everyone else.
I'll hold up one of the picture frames to her.
She sees nothing. It's empty.
No, I just crit. going to swing for Willow, but disregard that.
You're swinging at Willow?
I was going to, but I didn't mean to crit.
I'll take it.
Willow gets knocked the fuck out.
I'm
Do I
so
get a
sorry.
chance to dodge? Because she's, well,
Yes.
because she said I'm going to beat the fuck out of Willow.
And then I crit.
I mean, I'll take the punch in the face, but I'll try and dodge it.
Go for it.
Rob's not. Nope.
And as the hit lands and Willow gets knocked to the ground, you see Lokia, as you're sort of like seething with anger and frustration from this, that Willow's face starts to kind of like contort a little bit very briefly, and their eyes start to like glow a little bit purplish, and they snap back to normal.
Ow.
What just happened to your eyes?
You just punched me in the face.
Usually my hits don't make people's eyes purple.
What do you mean? That's what blood does. It coagulates.
Not
It turns part of your face purple.
not glowing purple in your eyes.
Oh, it's the mascara and the glitter.
Oh, I should have guessed.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Is it really something to get worried about? I don't think so.
I don't know. Does that usually happen to you?
I barely get hit, so no. I mean, last time it never happened, so we can put a pin in it and circle back.
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna help Willow up and lay on hands at the same time. I didn't think I was actually gonna hit you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. I feel like we're gonna get the guards called to us soon. We got aggravated assault, breaking and entering. What
And
else?
a crazy lady covered in mud.
I would say that's more of a freedom of expression. Not really hurting anyone except when you punch me in the face.
You do notice that the crowd that you noticed were kind of like watching you. There's more people now, and some of the people that you noticed before are not there anymore.
Yeah, we should go
Yep.
quickly.
Definitely.
Moving on.
Oh, and lock the door of the house.
If Cor or Isaac want to chime in, they are more than welcome to.
The robot seems to be malfunctioning a bit.
And as Cor says this, Gorm, you actually notice now that you're standing next to him, and even Voltaire too, you notice that Archie isn't his usual self. He sort of seems to be in a glitchy sort of trance. His eyes start to kind of like flicker a little bit between like a bluish color and a white color.
Oh, crap, guys. We need to get him back to the workshop.
I've seen this before.
Oh, it was. I can't tell if it's the same or not, but he had a couple other automatons that went crazy. Get him back to the workshop and not have him go hostile out here in the market square, whatever this is,
Well,
housing
Vol-
district.
Voltaire, you could tell that this isn't like a hostile sort of glitch. You could like his eyes aren't turning like any other color but white and blue. And Isaac would know from his extensive research that the cerulean variant would, and even Core would know this, that the cerulean variant wouldn't cause a robotic creature or construct to become hostile. It's mainly the fuchsia or the cerulean ones because of how unstable they can be. The fuchsia and emerald ones, I mean.
Are we back at Tarthanos now?
You can. Give me 1 second. Let me set up the map real quick.
As we're moving back there, I'm like, someone remind me. It seems like that the triggers for these weird glitches, because the core, this happened relatively in succession, yes? I think that every time something gets hit or if there's violence involved, a glitch happens. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, this is really old technology. There's glitches bound to happen all the time with this thing.
Yes. Primitive tech and all that. We know. We've been told.
But it seems that way, yes.
With violence, you say? Try and punch Willow. No, just joking.
Do it. No. You do it. Commit.
I
Commit.
will say that when Lucia did punch Willow, there was no like red eyes or anything. Core noticed that there
Oh.
was no like, just like how when Willow slapped or went to go slap Lucia, there was some red eyes, sort of like glitch. But when Lucia punched Willow, there wasn't that.
Oh. I slapped
So-
Voltaire.
I have an idea.
These
Very funny.
glitches that Core sees seem to be sort of like a processing glitches.
Processing glitches.
Archie,
So
how
you
far
guys
do your
just
scanners
slapping
go?
each other?
Sorry, one at a time. We'll go with Voltaire first.
Oh, Archie, how far do your scanners go?
Undetermined.
Have you ever tried to scan the whole town to see how many people were here? Life forms?
Negative.
Okay, that won't
Let's
help
go.
us then.
Let's go with Core. What did Core say?
Oh, no, I was just asking if you guys, is everyone just slapping each other?
Oh, just a slap fest.
Do I notice that he reacts as his glitches are different
Well,
based on the individual?
if Willow's slapping anyone, there are like glitches of red, very briefly, but you can still notice them if you're really
Willow is.
keen and paying attention.
Mm.
It's only Willow for some reason.
I look at Willow and I look and say to I want to just test something. Watch Archie, and please don't take offense. And as I say that, I kind of pull my pistol out of my skin and have it aimed right at Willow.
And
And
as soon as you do that, Isaac, Voltaire, and Gorm, you see Archie's eyes start to glow red.
What are you doing?
Uh-oh.
You see
Oh,
like
there's-
4 cards float right behind Willow.
And Archie then reaches for Core's arm.
can I do a dex save?
You sure can, yeah. Yeah, you managed to put your gun away right before Archie grasps your arm, and the red eyes, or the red coloring in his eyes, sort of fade back into blue.
Is this a defensive machine?
Are we back at the Arthanos now?
I think you guys are still like walking
Okay.
towards there. If anyone wanted to answer Core's question, is if Archie's a defense machine, you can answer that. I'll let you guys take a guess on that.
No, Tarthano said he was more like custodial, like to aid, like cooking, cleaning, helping kind of
No,
stuff.
that doesn't seem right. I mean, I don't know this Tarzano, but you can clearly see he reacts to any kind of violence towards a point to Willow.
Maybe Tarthano likes Willow?
Well, it did go on a rampage. And I gave him quite an earful about
So-
modifying his the next version of Archie.
Let me just clarify something just a little bit there, so there's no confusion. When Willow, quote unquote, attacked Lokia or anyone else, there was the red coloring of the eyes. When Core attacked Willow, or was like threatening to attack, there was the red coloration. So it's not necessarily Willow themselves. If that makes any sense.
Well, the clues are pointing to it, so that's kind of how we arrived at that, which
Okay.
kind of makes sense. But it also makes sense that maybe it's not fully Willow because when Lokia punched Willow, it was just blinking. Was it like blue and white?
When Lokia did,
Yeah, you said it was blue and white.
it there was no like glitches or anything.
Okay, yeah. So that this kind of is a counterpoint.
Is it just between Core and Willow?
Never met Cora. Is it because you're Zolgren or not from this town?
What
Why
about
don't you
I?
try aiming a shot at me? Pretend like you're really intent on harming me. See if we can replicate it.
Did you say me or Core?
Well, we've already done core, so
Okay.
you can go ahead.
I'll pull my pistol out and aim at him, unless Archie jumps at me and I'll put it away.
Give me 1 second, guys. My Roll20 just fucking closed out for me. So Voltaire, as soon as you go to who are you doing it towards?
Willow.
Or okay. There is a slight red tinge in Archie's eyes.
Then
Light tinge, but not a full assault.
No.
what if I avert my aim toward Gorm?
Same thing.
Point it at core and see what happens.
Okay. Aim at Core.
Nothing.
Like he goes back to normal.
Back to normal.
So we're allowed to fight each other.
Can I? Oh, neither they're done. Can I ask Archie a question?
Sure.
I mean, I'll wait until you guys are done.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I would do. I'm gonna ask Archie what his primary function is, and I'm gonna do the investigation with technology.
So
That,
you're asking what his essential functions are essentially?
yeah, what his primary functions are.
Okay. So give me 1 second. Actually have this. He tells you, I am autonomous respite designed for caretaking and hospitality in the most efficient way.
So can I ask him why his eyes are changing colors? Yeah.
He begins to process that query, and you hear error.
Do you have any kind of I guess it'd be like a motherboard that I would be able to access?
Yeah, definitely. You know, you sort of you kind of know your way. It's not your specialty, but you kind of know your way around certain robotics, so you're able to
Mhm.
kind of easily find where the main components would be.
Will he allow me to do that?
You can ask.
I'd like to run a diagnostics on you. I'm gonna say to Archie.
Unauthorized.
We'll make it authorized.
Negative.
And kind of stop and look at the group, saying there's something wrong with that's going on with him. He's got some kind of almost like a firewall in a sense that's not letting us access him. I can try to modify him. I've worked with some robotics. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I can try.
I will say that Core, you're not like entirely optimistic that what you can do will
Oh,
work.
I know.
But you think it might.
It might, yes.
But you do know of somebody who it could work.
Back to Tarthanos.
You know somebody personally who deals with
Oh,
electron.
I know somebody here.
Yes.
Yuri?
Yes.
Okay.
Not you,
would
Siri.
relay that info then.
That's his speciality.
I guess I would relay more that there's definitely some kind of an interference going on with Archie.
Alright. Well, we should be at the shop shortly, so they can, between him and Torthano, they should be able to figure something out then.
And actually, you guys do make it to the shop. and you notice that Gary is sort of like just casually slouched, kind of taking a little bit of a nap in the chair. Tarthano is like very curiously looking into the microscope, if you will, and Lulu is not there.
Hey Tarthano, glad you're here. Your robot here is going a little crazy.
What do you mean? He seems fine to me. What seems to be the problem, Archie? Unknown. Scanning. Processing. Error. Scheisse. Archie, I'm going to turn you off for just a moment. Is that okay with you? Certainly.
Something seems to be messing with his memory banks also.
There seems to be something wrong, but I've got to take a closer look.
Thank you.
Gorm, could you be so kind as to carry him to the table?
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna go over here. Yeah, over here. Right over here. And as you plop him onto the table, it's sort of like plopping a rag doll onto the table. A very heavy rag doll, but it's nothing to you, Gorm. And Tarthana sort of like pats you on the bicep, and he says, "Danke."
No problem, friend.
And he kind of like he beckons over Professor Isaac, and he also kind of like runs over to Yuri, smacks him on the back of his head. Wake up! And Yuri's sort of like, what was that for? I'm just taking a little nap. No napping. Cora, if you would like to go over there and sort of like explain the situation to Tarthano and how you think he might be able to help, you can do that.
Okay. So for it's the way. Okay.
Oh,
You would,
I did not bring you on the map. Give me 1 second. Oh, excuse me. Boom. You're echoing for a little bit.
Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I look at Tortano, and I would say his data input seems to be malfunctioning. He's not granting us any access, and is not responding to certain commands.
Who do you? Who are you? Who are you? I do not recognize you. What brings you here?
I'm a friend of Yuri's here. Yuri, by the shoulder, and give a suggestive like nod.
And Yuri sort of like gives you a kind of like a dirty look of sorts. You see his skin start to turn like a different shade of color, and he's sort of like,
Does it still look like a very bad version of Altair?
Yes, or no, it was Valorant, I think it was.
Oh, Valorant, that's right.
Yeah, and he kind of like says like, yeah, a friend.
But now, can I like talk through like that mind connection with Yuri?
Yeah, definitely.
Just tell him that the this is obviously very primitive technology, but there's something that we're not being told here. He's responding. I kind of like reiterate the red eyes.
And Yuri, not taking social cues, sort of like speaks out loud. Oh, you mean that he's not functioning? I've seen this totally many times. Todd, can I take a look at it, please? yeah, I just gotta. And he kind of like sticks his hands into the chest compartment of Yuri and sort of starts digging around. And as Yuri opens the chest cavity of Archie, Isaac, you and Core, and even Gorm can see a cerulean Lodeoganite crystal sort of like housed in his chest compartment. And it seems to be. Well, actually, I'll let Core and Isaac roll investigation.
Is this with advantage because it's technology or no?
Yeah. Core, you actually notice a small like crack in the crystal.
Lean down at it and point out crack.
You're echoing just a tiny bit.
Lean down and like point out the crack.
You're still kind of echoing a little bit. Sorry.
Is that better?
Yes, way better.
I would say I lean down, look at it, and point out the crack.
How does Isaac react to this obvious bad news?
And I think he has to fight the urge to like take a step back. Because I feel like he knows a little bit about how Lodeoganite can kind of work back on itself and like explode. So there's a a quick moment of, oh god, he's gonna blow up. Before I think he's just probably kind of clambering over, looking over people's shoulders, just trying to get a really good view in case he comes across something like this again.
It's not hard to look over Terthano's shoulders. He's
Yeah.
only like 2.5 feet tall. But yeah, you see the crack. You kind of know it's not great to have a crack in a crystal that's not supposed to have a crack in it. And I don't remember. Gorm, were you with the rest of the group during the desert battle, or was that after, like the desert temple? Or was that afterwards?
It might be after.
I
think
think
it
Gorm
was just
came like
after.
right after.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
'cause,
So
yeah.
he wouldn't notice any of that. Maybe. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Timelines are all mushy for me. So yeah, as soon as Core kind of like points that out, Yuri gives him a recognition nod, and he sort of like digs into his pouch, and he pulls out a fresh crystal, and he very strategically takes out the old one, puts a new one in, and then closes up the chassis and his chest. He's like, well, I hope that worked. But let's hope for the best. That might have been it. I don't know. Got to run some trial and errors situations, troubleshooting. Yes. And Tarthano kind of looks over at Gorm and he says, could you or possibly no, could you possibly bring him over there?" And he kind of like points over to his wall charging area. And as soon as Gorm brings him over there, forgot my voices for a second, sorry. Uh Yuri powers Archie on, and he boots up and he says, "Hello, I am autonomous respite designed for caretaking and hospitality in the most efficient way, or Archie for short. How may I be of service?" And Archie kind of like looks at him weird, looks back at Core, looks back at Tar and Isaac, and he kind of shrugs.
Archie shrugs.
Huh?
Said Archie just shrugs.
No, Yuri shrugs.
Oh.
So, like, just to kind of like reiterate, Archie sort of just reintroduced himself again, and Yuri was like, I don't know.
Well, what did the damaged crystal do to him? Yuri?
No. All I know is that he seems to be working okay to me.
Archie, what's the last thing you remember?
Hello, I am Autonomous Respite, designed for caretaking and hospitality in the most efficient way. You can call me Archie for short. How might I be of service?
Have you met us before?
Processing, processing, processing. No results found.
I would ask Yuri to have him analyze the crystal they took out of his chest.
What was that?
I would ask Yuri to have Archie analyze the crystal that they took out of his chest, the damaged one.
Alright, yeah, Yuri's gonna grab it and kind of like, Archie, over here, could you possibly scan this for me? I'm Yuri, Yuri Salenti. Could you possibly scan this for me, please? Tell me whatever you can confer about it. And then Archie says, scanning. No results found.
While he was scanning, I wanna pull my pistol out and point it at Willow again.
I'll point mine at Willow too.
Nothing.
Tarthano, you keep backup memory.
Yes, I do. I do somewhere. In front of these bookshelves, there's a backup, and he starts to like dash over. He sort of pushes this automaton to the side, and he starts to like frantically look through the shelves. Kind of worried. Isaac can notice this. He's never seen Tarthano this worried before, and he usually only reserves this type of worry for something or someone he cares about. And I'm actually gonna have Isaac roll insight with advantage. You notice as Tarthano's looking through all these kind of like backup things, you see a little tear streak go down his cheek, but his face seems to like stay like stalwart and kind of like he's very determined. And as this automaton comes closer, Tar kind of like pushes it away. And after a few minutes, actually before that, I want to see how everyone is reacting to this situation that's happening.
Corwin is be watching him, and would I be under the impression that Tortano created Archie?
Yes. How is
Uh,
everyone else reacting?
Blue Jay's just kind of like leaning against the maps table, like watching everything unfold, not really caring about anything going on. They're like,
Okay.
it's just happening.
Okay. What about everyone else?
To see if the backup works on Archie.
How is Isaac reacting to all of this? Like you know Tarthana, you know how much he cares about his work, and you kind of you see him in this much distress that you haven't seen him in quite a long time.
I think it's very tough because it is a friend of mine, and I don't want to see him upset. I also think maybe Isaac's a little bit frustrated just with himself that he hasn't managed to like figure out what's happening yet. Because that's like usually his job. And he feels like maybe he's letting down Archie and Gaetano a little bit.
What about Willow?
Willow's in the same boat as Professor. Normally, they should be able to pick up the clues, but the clues are there's not enough for them to go on and make a proper like path or diagnosis as to what exactly could be happening. There's theories, but there's not enough evidence to back any of what they're saying or thinking. In terms of backup, Willow is hesitant, but is eager to see what will happen, but is very doubtful that anything positive is going to come out with this one.
What about Lokia?
She's mostly just watching and waiting. In the same boat, just frustrated that it feels like all clues lead to nothing.
I think in passing, I would have asked where Lulu went.
Yuri would have as soon as you asked that, Yuri would relay that Tarzano sent her home for the evening because she had school the next day.
Okay.
And as Tarzano sort of like comes back to Archie, he sort of like looks at Archie and just says, give me 1 second. I have notes here somewhere. Give me a second. He just kind of like closes his eyes, holds up the backup in his hand, and he says, "Unsere Frau aus selber, please let this happen." And he sort of like takes out the old one, puts the new one in, and he just like sits there and he starts like muttering to himself like a small little prayer. Lokia would definitely notice that it's a prayer. And after a few moments, Archie's eyes light back up and he says, "Master Tarzano, how may I be of service?" And Isaac, you could see like the relief in Tarzano's face and the tears of joy start to kind of like stream down his cheeks. And he says, "My dear boy, I thought I lost you."
All right. Not to break them right away, but I show him one of the picture frames. Hey, do you see anything on here?
And he says, "Scanning, processing." and then he begins to read word per word what is on that blank sheet of paper, regaling the tales of Huntsdom, and that is where we'll end it tonight.
Yay! Fixed Archie.
Woo.
One down. A whole
Go
town to go.
We gotta fix ourselves first.
And our time clock's ticking because
We gotta get
friggin'
back
Oh,
to
yeah.
Snowball.
Snowfault.
Pure Vault, Pure Star.
Or Pure Star, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
You know, Loki has been very anxious about that this whole time.
Yeah. But I mean, in game, we've been here half a day or whatever.
Essentially, yeah. So not much time has passed. But yeah, awesome. Thank you guys. I honestly thought that some of that was going to go differently than what happened. So good job.
We're just throwing you through some loops, you know?
Well, I mean, I was ready for some sort of combat, but nobody stepped into that trap. So
Nice job, everybody. Way to keep yourself safe on your toes. Gotta love it.
Shout out us.
Yeah.
Shout out to us.
Absolutely. Hey, Lilkia, do you still have does your character still have mud on her?
I would assume so. We just made a short walk.
I just wanted to ask. Just wanted to make sure.
I was about to say, she is gonna get that off her at some point. Lukia's like secret diva about things. She doesn't like to show it, but she is.
I do have to say I'm really loving the spreadsheet additions. It's really helped me out a ton. I'm like really happy that you guys are really like digging into that. And I appreciate it like a whole hell of a lot.
It's good. We'll fill it up at some point into before next session, I guess. With some summaries and whatnot.
I do have I honestly I kind of have like half of next session already planned. So that's fun.
It'll be fun. Ooh, excuse me.
Easy work for next time.
I mean, I still got a lot to plan, but now that you guys sort of like took a different path than what I was expecting,
Good job,
What?
guys.
the timer still stands.
I'm gonna fuck it up next time. We gonna fuck it up.
Not if it fucks you up first.
It's usually what happens.
It
I
will
feel like
eventually.
we're getting close. We need maybe one or two more clues before we finally piece it together.
Well, I think now that Archie can see things, that we can take Archie to, what's her face, Mayor, and
Zora.
yeah, and have them like convince them that we're not lying.
And we still have to deal with Aaron, who was snuck in there.
Yeah,
I feel like he's gonna be
where
important.
we have a mysterious sword now.
I
Yeah.
will say that divine sense. I was hoping that the wording was a little different because I would have revealed a little more.
I know. I like saw that. The wording of it is too specific for it to be used as just like
Yeah,
detect good and evil. Because it's
I was-
detecting celestial fiends and undead,
yeah. I was
and
reading
then
that. I was
something afflicted by a certain spell or whatever.
like, I was really bummed out that I couldn't give you anything else.
I know. You were like thinking about it, so I'm like, oh, it's not an immediate. No, I'm about to get something. Let's go. And then no. It's fine
But-
though.
Yeah, you guys did great. Like I'm not surprised. I'm really not. I'm not surprised. You guys are really good. Yeah, I'm super excited to see how this unfolds next week. If you guys do want to kind of like make any immediate plans that you want to kind of touch on next session, please do so. Let me know so I can semi plan accordingly or have those places prepped. So that we were not sort of going on a whim, which I don't mind doing. It just feel like it cheats you guys out a little bit. But yeah. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank
rest of
you.
everyone's week.
Thank you
Have a good week.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.